Greetings from Studio X at Clear Channel, New York. I'm Dave Fox with another web tutorial. This is the one that many of you have been waiting for, a comprehensive view of my VO settings. From alpha to omega, we start in a voiceover session and work it all the way through finished production. Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes at Channel 963? That's the process version. Recorded at exactly the same time is the flat version. Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes at Channel 963? Each channel is fed by separate submasters with their own processing built in from the beginning. Now, there is no mic pre, so we start with the L1 just to boost the level up to a point where we can start using it. The output is always minus 0.3. Now, I work in some noisy environments, so our next step is a gate. The DigiRack Expander Gate plugin is really nice and simple to use. Just set the threshold for your room. I'll explain why later, but next up, set a high-pass filter at 400 Hz. And finally, we put the L1 back on again, this time to give it some real crunch. The other submaster uses the same plugins, mostly with slightly different settings. Not so much oomph on the input, while the gate needs to be just about the same because you're dealing with the same room at the same time. And of course, the final bit of compression doesn't need to be as crispity-crunchity. Now we're going to change sessions and do some analysis with a plugin from a company called Blue Cat. It's free. We're going to take a look at the music and then the voice and see how they work together. First, the music. Nice, normal, bassy, thumpy kind of production music that we all love to use. The lower the pitch, the higher the gain. Let's look again. The pitch is up to down, right to left, while the gain is measured vertically. All right, let's look at the voice.
Elvis Duran in the Z100 Morning Show, where superstars come to play, like The Wanted.
Exactly the opposite because of the high-pass 400 Hz filter.
Elvis Duran in the Z100 Morning Show, where superstars come to play, like The Wanted.
Okay, so what we want to do is to have these files play well together.
Elvis Duran in the Z100 Morning Show, where superstars come to play, like The Wanted.
I'm not having to duck the music at all. All right, watch the peaks.
Elvis Duran in the Z100 Morning Show, where superstars come to play, like The Wanted.
The voice track swims in the music. But there are a couple more parts to this puzzle that I'm going to show you now. If you're not sure about some of the things I show you now, check out the tutorial on busing. It's pretty important. The output of my main voice track is set to the bus called flange. Some prefer to call it a path called flange. Again, if you don't understand this part, check out the tutorial on busing. It's called Get on the Bus. So now we look for a submaster with its input set to flange. Of course, where that input is depends on how you design your template, which will be the topic of my next tutorial. So you look over to the right, you'll see a submaster that is the flange module, and on it, a Waves plugin called Metaflanger. The important settings are the mix, the frequency, which you'll see here with a little arrow following back and forth, and the stereo spread, which should be more than 100%. Then to wrap it all up, I send it to the compression module. Yes, more compression, Virginia. It's the same module I send all the voice tracks to for one last compression. Some critics will tell you that that's too much compression. It causes listener fatigue. I say, I'm only going to be on for 30 seconds. How much fatigue can that be? Besides, it gives me the ultimate in control. In the end, all the voice tracks have the same gain, and I can control it with one fader. Okay, it's time to listen to the final mix with the complete promo from top to bottom. Now would be the time to turn it up.
Elvis Duran in the Z100 Morning Show, where superstars come to play, like The Wanted.
Do you hook up with your fans often?
It's happened a few times.
You're not afraid that they're gonna do a tell-all?
I always said from the first day that we got in the band, when someone does a kiss and tell story on you, you know you've made it. Make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now.
Get the complete interview at Z100.com. Keyword Elvis.
There you have it. From start to finish, top to bottom, that's my voice treatment. I hope you get something out of it. And remember, this is not the method. It's a method.